Hey guys, and this is my first video for TGN Idol, and as you can see I'm a Warlock, and our first match is against a Arms Warrior and Holy Paladin. This one's a loss, but it's just to prove how much damage Arms Warriors can do at the moment, and how much I needed to peel for being a Warlock. So, and you can see the next game is a pretty similar comp, but I'll show you the difference we did and the ways we played better and the ways we played worse. So here I get loads of dots out onto the Arms Warrior, and I start onto the Holy Paladin. I def coil him there, which is a 3-second instant fear, and I get some good damage out. I can't spell lock him because he feared my pet away, but I just keep pressure on him, and my healer doesn't call for any kind of peeling, but I just carry on. And here I start peeling the warrior as well as I can, but the warrior's damage is just too good and I can't do anything about it. So I tried to solo them too, just to give you a quick tip on how to peel as a warlock. Spell lock the paladin and just get all my dots back onto both of them. This gives me loads of self heals due to fell armor, and I'm spec'd to that. So I'm getting 6% of all my damage done as heals. So a good way to survive on your own is just keep porting and keep all your dots up on both targets, and fearing as much as possible the highest damage targets. So I'm just keeping this game going, but I'm gonna die in a minute. But this game was pretty good, but I mean their damage was just crazy. So, but we learnt from our mistakes, and I got my priest now knows to call really early as soon as he uses big cooldowns. So the next match is against a Arms Warrior and a Resto Druid. The problems they make this time is the Resto Druid comes out really late and comes out straight into a spell lock, and I've got the Warrior down to about 50% health. I made one big mistake in this game, but you'll see that in a minute. So I put my portal down here always, so I can always get away quickly. Here the Warrior charges me. I tried to line of sight the charge, but it's pretty difficult. See here, you can see that the Druid's still not out, and I've got all my dots out onto the Warrior, and here he comes out now, and he tries to, and I'm able to fully dot him and get a spell lock off on him. So here I slowed the Druid, and the Warrior's about 50% health, so we're in a really good position here. The Druid's having to use cooldowns to keep his Warrior up, and he's got damage on him as well, and my priest is not being targeted at all, so he can even do damage. That's how much damage we're putting out. And yeah, so I spell lock the Druid every time when he's in Tree of Life, because he's got instant heals in Tree of Life. He's got instant regrowth, so I can't spell lock a cast, which is really difficult. And here the Druid's used all of his cooldowns, so it's pretty much a win from where we are. Like my priest does get pretty low, but I'm on the Druid just as much as the Warrior is on my priest. This is where my mistake is. I didn't get the spell lock off on the Druid because of my pet was on the Warrior, and my pet was out of line of sight. So if I'd micromanaged my pet a bit more, I would have been able to get a spell lock there. But it's not game changing because I'm able to still kill the Warrior. He drops my priest really low there, and I can't get a I fear the Druid, and I keep blasting this Warrior, and I get pretty close here for a kill, but I'm not able to because the Druid's just healing, but he's fully out of mana, and he's in bear form, which isn't a good place to be when he's got no cooldowns. But yeah, so I'm able to dot up the Druid, and he gets behind the pillar. This means that he's completely out of line of sight of his Warrior, so I'm able to put all my dots back onto the Warrior and easily swap them back over to the Druid if I need to. I haunt, which does quite good damage now, and I'm able just to spell lock I spell lock the regrowth, so that means the Druid can't heal for another 6 seconds, which is really bad for him, obviously, because he can't do anything for 6. He can't do any heals from that talent, from that nature something. He can't heal, so I'm able to kill the Druid there because he's can't be killed, and I was able to get a death coil off, which finished him off. Here you can see the Warrior just unloads onto my priest. He's obviously out for revenge, and my priest very nearly dies I hear, but it's alright, because I would have had him on my own, but you know, I can say that now. That game was pretty hard, but we learnt from our last mistakes, and you can see my damage done is just crazy. This is an Unholy DK Resto Shaman. This team is really hard for us just because of... oh no, it's actually Frost DK, sorry. It's a Frost DK Resto Shaman, and because the DK is running Unholy Presence in Frost, so it's kind of confusing. Here we're trying to decide what to go on, but it's quite a tough decision, so I decided to go on both, because it's so hard to just go on a single target as a Warlock, because that's where all your damage comes from, just having all your dots out on both targets. Usually start off with a spell lock, because it's to stop them dispelling my first lot of dots, but here the DK gets a really nice Arcane Torrent off, but it slows my my opening down a bit. I put my 20% damage increase, so my dots were doing an extra 20% damage. I spell locked the Hex there, because it's no good being Hex. I get some good opening pressure out onto the Shaman. I nearly get him to drop, but then my Priest nearly dies in a Strangulate. So I run over to help my Priest because he's in a Strangulate and that's a 5-second silence, so I have to go help him. And I start kiting the Druid for him. I use my 70% slow on the DK, and I just fear him. And then the DK goes on me, and Frost can do quite good damage now. So I have to kite him quite a lot. I get a Death Call to get him off me, which is on a 1.5 minute cooldown. Great ability there. I wish I had AoE Fear up there, because they're both on me. I think I called for AoE Fear off my Priest, but my Priest has to heal. So I'm still keeping dots on both targets, just using my instant Shadow Bolts. I had to port there because I was taking too much damage, and I got Pain Suppression off my Priest, so I was never going to die there, but I had to port just in case. The Shaman gets pretty low, but it gets behind a pillar, and that kind of helps him a lot, and I just stay on both of the targets still, but they're kind of letting me free cast, so it's really easy. The Shaman's kiting me pretty well. He should have gone in Ghost Wolf. He goes in Ghost Wolf now when I slow him, but it was probably a bit too late. So here I just unload onto this DK. He pops Anti-Magic Shell, but that's good for me, because I can take all my dots off him and put them onto the Shaman. They go back on me, which is probably their mistake in this game. Oh, he Hungry Cold to me, sorry. This means I'm slowed. I can't move for 8 seconds. I could have broke it, but my Priest was okay, and I didn't need to be out of it, because there was no kill targets. I couldn't have got a kill if I broke out of it, basically. So I start blowing up this DK here. Get loads of damage out, and the Shaman comes over to heal, and I spell lock him because I get worried that he will start healing, so I fear him, and then I put Unstable Affliction. It stops him dispelling it, because Unstable Affliction, if they dispel it, they take about 20k damage, and that's not good, and they get silenced for 6 seconds. I put loads of pressure back out onto this DK. I portal. This is where the big mistake is. They follow me, and then the DK just dies in a minute. I spell lock the Greater Healing Wave, and then he's basically dead. So that was it. If you want me to do more arenas or normal BGs or rated BGs, just put it down in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed my first video for TJ Idol. If you, here the Shaman's just staying. He could have left, but he decided he wants me to kill him, just for the fun. Thanks.